Hello students, in this video I am going to start a new chapter for your module 4. Okay, this is the language of chemistry. Okay, very easy chapter and also very interesting chapter for you. I hope you will like this chapter. So the major points we will discuss in this chapter I have written here. Okay, and we will be discussing one after another all these things. So first we will discuss chemical reaction. What is chemical reaction? Then we will discuss reactants products. Then we will discuss law of conservation of mass. Then conditions necessary for chemical reactions, close contact, solution form, heat, light and catalyst. Okay, these are the points we are going to discuss today. And then after discussing all of things, okay, you will come to know that how a chemical reaction that takes place. Okay, you will be able to identify the who are reactants, who are products, okay, and the factors how they impact a chemical reaction will come to know. Okay, first is the chemical reaction. What is a chemical reaction? Chemical reactions is nothing but a chemical change. Okay, when something undergoes a change, okay, and that leads to the production of some new substances. Okay, some changes that occur. Okay, suppose a particular product undergo some kind of changes, and that leads to formation of some two or three more new substances develop. Suppose maybe with a change of color, okay, with a change in the state or anything. This kind of changes are called chemical changes, which is also known as chemical reaction. Okay, so what is the language of definition in your book given? Any change in matter which involves its transformation into one or more new substances is a chemical change, also called as chemical reaction. Okay, so this is very simple. Now suppose there is a product. Now I am using a different now look at here. Suppose there is a product A, okay, and which undergoes a change and ultimately produces products B and C. So this kind of changes we can say chemical change, which is also known as chemical reaction. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now the next we will be discussing here reactants and products. What are reactants, or what is a reactant and what is a product? Reactant means the matter or the substance which undergoes chemical change or chemical reaction. Suppose, as I have given the example here, A that converts into B plus C, new substances. Now here A is the reactant which undergoes change, chemical change, okay, or which undergoes chemical reaction. That is the reactant. So this is what we know as the reactant. Okay, and product means the new productions, the productions which are actually came as a result of this chemical reaction. Okay, the transformation of the reactant into products which are developed, which are formed as a result of chemical reactions. So these two are the products. Okay, I am giving an example. For example, you see here hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, they reacts. When hydrogen and oxygen reacts, then it produces water, right? So in this chemical reaction, hydrogen and oxygen are the reactants, okay, and water is the product. Understood? So like another example, there are many examples in your book, it is given there. Okay, you can take any other example like carbon dioxide, okay, carbon plus oxygen. So carbon plus oxygen, when carbon and oxygen reacts, then they form carbon dioxide. Okay, in this case carbon and oxygen are the reactants while carbon dioxide is the product. Okay, Some other example you take sodium oxide and water. Okay, sodium oxide and water. If these two substances react, they are going to produce sodium hydroxide. Okay, in this case sodium oxide and water are the reactants and sodium hydroxide is the product. Okay, I hope you understood this. Okay, now if it is clear, now let's move to the next point. See, law of conservation of mass. So these 2 points we have done. Now next is law of conservation of mass. Okay, what is this? Mass is the content. Mass is the content. Okay, what is present in the matter? Okay, what is the matter made up of? That is its that is its mass. Remember, mass never changes. Okay, now law of conservation of mass says that the mass of the matters or the substances before the reaction, okay, remains equal in the products. Mean the mass before the reaction and mass after the reaction remains same. There is no change in the mass. Okay, what is it in the book? You see, it has been observed that total mass of the reactants together is equal to the total mass of the product. For example, A plus B are the reactants that develops into C plus D are the products. Total mass of A and B is equal to total mass of C and D. So you can say, for example, total mass AB in this case, which is equal to CD. So total mass of reactant should be equal to the total mass of products. Okay, this is what it says here. So this is possible only when the total number of atoms, okay, of each kind remains same before and after chemical reaction. Okay. For example, suppose there is a one example. Let me take hydrogen plus oxygen. Okay, it forms what? Water. The number of atoms of hydrogen and the number of atoms of oxygen, okay, we'll first see. Suppose there are 2 hydrogen atoms, okay, 2 hydrogen atom is there and plus 1 oxygen is there. So 1 we don't write, you can write 1 here or let's not write 1, so only 1 is there. So 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, okay, ultimately the water is H2O. Now look at that. How many atoms are here? In the hydrogen, 2 atoms are here. So here 2 atoms are here. Okay. How many oxygen are there? 1 oxygen. So here is 1 oxygen. So it means that number of atoms of the reactants, okay, should be equal to the number of reactants, number of atoms in the reactants. Sorry, number of atoms in the products. I am repeating it. Number of atoms in the reactants should be equal to the number of atoms in the products. There should not be any change in the number of atoms. If there is 10 oxygen there in the reactants, in the products also it has to be 10 atoms of oxygen. If there is 5 atoms of hydrogen there in the reactants, in the products also there should be 5 atoms of hydrogen. So there should not be any change in the number of atoms. That is what, there is no change in the number of mass. So that is what mass means here, but we are indicating the number of atoms. So that is what you say, that total mass of the reactants has to be equal to the total mass of the product. Okay. So total how many atoms are there in these reactants? 2 plus 1, 3, right? In the products, total how many atoms are there? 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, 3. So 3 is equal to 3. I hope you understood this. This is called law of conservation of mass. Okay. Now let's move to the conditions necessary for chemical reactions. What are the conditions required for chemical reaction? So this point we have done. close contact. Two substances must be come in close contact. They must be in contact. Without contact, chemical reaction cannot take place. For example, hydrogen binds with oxygen, as we have just seen this. Two hydrogen and oxygen binds it. Now both hydrogen and oxygen needs to be come together, come in close contact. Then only the reaction. If they are in far apart, far from each other, apart from each other, then it will not be possible reaction. They must be come in close contact. Then only reaction is possible. Okay, this is the first point. Done. Second, solution form. There are some reactants, they undergo chemical reaction only in the solution form. Okay, for example, in your book there is one example given here, that when sodium chloride NaCl solution is added to silver nitrate AgNO3, okay, silver nitrate solution, a white precipitate of sodium, silver chloride and sodium nitrate is formed. It means that when a solution means liquid form, okay, solution of sodium chloride mixes with the solution of silver nitrate, then chemical reaction takes place. Understood? So this is all something very important. Just 1 second. Okay, so I hope you understood the second point. Okay, that there are some substances which react only in solution form. Okay, so number 2 is done. Number 3, heat. There are some reactions which needs heat to start it. Okay, heat to be produced. See, one example is given. Potassium chlorate on heating decomposes to produce two new products, potassium chloride and oxygen. Okay, so it was potassium chlorate. Okay, potassium chlorate, it needs to be given heat, and then it is broken down into potassium chloride and oxygen. Okay, it breaks down into. So it is a chemical reaction that takes place when heat is required. Heat is given. Understood? In the laboratories also, many times in the school laboratories, we do some reactions. We put the chemicals in the test tube and then we heat it over the spirit lamp. So heat is required in some cases. Next is the light. In some chemical reaction, light is important. A very popular example is the reaction of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Okay. So sunlight is required. The solar energy is trapped in the by the chlorophyll, and which is used for to make the food. The light energy is trapped, which is changes into chemical energy, and that energy is utilized to make the food. Okay, so that is an example, good example of that light is required. The next is the catalyst. What is the catalyst? It can be any chemical substance. Okay, it can be any chemical substance that can act as a catalyst. Okay, it can be an enzyme. Okay, enzyme is a chemical substance which acts as a catalyst. What is a catalyst actually? Catalyst is a chemical substance which initiate a chemical reaction, which can also influence the rate of chemical reaction. Okay, the rate of chemical reaction may also be increased by the catalyzer or the chemical substances. So rate of chemical reaction also controlled by the catalyzer or catalysts. Okay, so enzyme is a chemical substance which is act as a catalyst. So in some reactions we need the presence of such chemical, okay, known as catalyst, which trigger or initiate the reaction. There are many chemical reactions that takes place in our digestive system where enzyme is required, chemical substance, okay, which initiate the chemical reaction, okay, and also changes the rate of chemical reaction. One example is given here. Manganese dioxide acts as a catalyst for the decomposition of potassium chloride into potassium chloride and oxygen. So manganese dioxide here, Okay, so the example just we have seen there just before this point, that potassium chlorate. Okay, potassium chlorate, okay, converts into what? Potassium chloride plus oxygen, right? In this reaction, okay, the catalyst was magnesium oxide, right? Sorry, one second. Manganese dioxide. I'm sorry. Manganese dioxide. So manganese dioxide. So this is a chemical substance which is used as a catalyst here. Okay, to convert the potassium chloride into potassium chloride into potassium chloride and oxygen. So this is what the catalyst is. Okay, I hope you understood this topic whatever we have discussed in this video. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video, and if you come up with any doubt and clarification required, definitely we will ask the questions in our live classes in the Zoom. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video.